Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and singing of our national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
You may be seated. Good morning. It is with great pleasure to welcome you to the Morgan Park Academy's 150th commencement. Today, we honor the efforts and accomplishments of the graduates here before us. Together with their families and friends, we usher them into the next phase of their lives. They are a class educated in the MPA tradition as independent thinkers and global leaders. Welcome to MPA faculty and staff, students, family members and friends, our trustees, and to our commencement speaker, Mr. Kareem Daniel. Most of all, welcome to the class of 2023. We started this school year celebrating the Academy's 150 years and this special graduating class. What an amazing group of young men and women. They have worked hard and been shining examples of the MPA way. It is so fitting that this class represents MPA's 150 years of academic excellence. I am so personally very proud of the class of 2023 for not only reaching their own individual goals despite the challenges of a pandemic-era high school career, but for always finding ways to help others along the way. As you embark on your collegiate lives, focus on all you've learned this year, the relationships that have helped and sustained you, and the person that you have become in spite of the challenges. Remember the family members and teachers who helped you along this journey and who contributed so widely to your experience here. You could also remember one of my favorite quotes from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Everyone can be great because everyone can serve. You only need a heart full of grace. We all see that in practice every day at MPA, and I encourage you to carry that lesson forward with you as our newly minted independent thinkers and global leaders. Please help me welcome our Board of Trustee Chair now, Mr. Kishore Palluri.
Good morning. Seems like a great weather, right? Mrs. Shepard told me that she's taking credit for all this weather today. Thank you. I'm here, and I'm pleased to be here to represent the Academy's Board of Trustees. Thank you for our trustees for their steadfast leadership. And thank you on behalf of the trustees to our amazing faculty and staff for completing another successful school year. I want to take this moment to congratulate the 2023 senior class for their amazing accomplishments. I also want to congratulate the parents, the grandparents, friends and family who are here to celebrate their special day. Today, I'm honored to speak to you at the end of Morgan Park Academy's historic 150th school year. For a century and a half, this unique institution has been a beacon of educational excellence in the southwest corner of Chicago, enduring through and adapting to changing world. Through war and peace, economic boom and bust, the blossoming of broader rights for all Americans, and more recently, COVID, the details of life at the Academy changed accordingly. Yet, over the course of 15 decades, families, faculty, and a community of alumni have stayed true to the educational mission that makes MPA an irreplaceable institution. Some of the details of how we achieve that mission have changed. How our teachers build relationships with students in a uniquely personal environment. How we show students the world beyond their campus, their community, their city, and their country. How we challenge our students to step outside their comfort zones and become independent thinkers and global leaders. But at its core, our institutional mission has remained consistent, shaped by diversity of thought and enduring values and traditions, while embracing the innovation and change necessary for 21st century success. Throughout, the unwavering leadership and generosity of parents, alumni, teachers, and friends have been our bedrock. Thank you to all of you who make Morgan Park Academy what it is. And I can't wait for the next 150 years. Please help me welcome our upper school principal, Tom Trahausel, to introduce today's commencement speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Polari. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Kareem Daniel, the class of 1992, to give this year's commencement address. My connection with Kareem goes all the way back to 1987. My first year at Morgan Park Academy, I was his 8th grade world geography and homeroom teacher. The following year, I taught him in world history, and in 12th grade, I taught him again in political science. Our real connection, though, came in my role as one of his basketball coaches for 4 years in high school. During those 4 years, we won 2 ISL championships and put together a 36-game winning streak. Kareem was, in my opinion, the key for the success of those teams. He was a leader on and off the court and set a positive example for all of his teammates. As a young coach, in order to be successful, you have to get your players to buy into your program. Kareem and I were on the same page on what we needed to do to be able to have championship basketball teams at Morgan Park Academy. As a leader, he was able to get the rest of the team to follow him. He has always given me a great deal of credit for the success of those teams, but to be honest, my success would not have happened without him believing in me. Kareem's work ethic is second to none. His determination, time management, skills, and also his commitment to always give his best effort and his dedication to make those around him better are traits that made him a successful student, but have also benefited him greatly long after his years at MPA. I still tell my players that when they play on a team, they have to manage their time to make sure they get their work completed. Also, that's important to keep their grades up, not to let their teammates down by not being able to play because of their academics. I remind them about a player I coached who did his homework on the bus when we traveled to away games, sat in the stands during the JV games doing his homework, and then did his homework on the bus ride back to school. I always end my story by telling them that player was Kareem Daniel. Kareem's focus and determination helped him graduate from Morgan Park Academy in 1992 as a valedictorian of his class. He earned his bachelor's degree in electrical engineering and an MBA, both from Stanford University. Over a tenure of nearly 20 years at the Walt Disney Company, Kareem Kareem held global leadership roles across every line of business, from film, television, and streaming to theme parks, consumer products, and video games at one of the world's largest media companies. Most recently, as chairman of the Disney Media and Entertainment Distribution, he oversaw the Walt Disney Company's full portfolio of media businesses globally. He was responsible for bringing its unparalleled storytelling to diverse audiences around the world. Prior to career at Disney, Kareem held roles in both equity and research and investment banking at Goldman Sachs, specializing in technology, media, and telecommunications, after a previous career as a computer programmer. He currently serves on the board of directors for the McDonald's Corporation. Please help me welcome Kareem Daniel.
Good afternoon. Faculty and administrators, parents and friends, and most importantly, the distinguished graduating class of 2023. It is a true privilege to have the opportunity to speak at the 150th commencement of Morgan Park Academy. This school has been a special place for my family over nearly 50 of those 150 years. My sister is a graduate of the class of '89, which of course makes her considerably older than I am. She will join our father in the NBA Hall of Fame this fall as he served on the Board of Trustees from 1988 to 1990. And far more impressive than these two are my three nieces who are students here, though as of today, one of you, will be moving on. But first, we will have the opportunity to hear from her as your class valedictorian, and I cannot be more humbled to share this stage with her today. As I gathered my thoughts in preparation for today, I actually looked back at the valedictorian speech that I gave here, right on those steps, as a member of the graduating class of '92. My mother, who was an incredibly caring and thoughtful woman, made a photo album for me long ago that fortunately preserved my original speech. And flipping through that album brought back many memories accrued over the 13 years that I attended MPA. Prom and some rather unfortunate hairstyle from the 90s. Sports, one season in which we won our first basketball game 106-16. And if that seems unfair, you can take it up with your current upper school principal, Tom Hazel, who was my coach at the time. But in all seriousness, Coach Hazel has always been one of my biggest supporters and a great friend to my family, and I thank him for it. And then, of course, I reread my valediction, and rereading it, I was curious to see how well my message 3 decades ago might still resonate. Perhaps I could even find a quote that I could share with you today. Something that proved prescient, a bit of cautionary advice, or even better, a moral insight that has withstood time and still by any measure rings true. Tragically, I found that not to be the case. It was rather fascinating to reread what I thought was of great urgency and consequence back then. In any case, while I was disappointed at first, something finally occurred to me after reading it a few times. The most profound thing for me was not in the body of the typewritten speech, but rather handwritten in its margins. On the top of the second page were scrawled the words, "Slow down." While I clearly intended that note to remind myself to not be nervous, not to rush through my speech, those are the words that I wrote almost exactly 31 years ago that I wish I had taken more to heart. They're what I hope you take away from my address today. The reason why I had the occasion to make that speech certainly was not because I was the smartest person in the class. And that is not me being humble. I was not the smartest person in that class, and I almost certainly would not be the smartest person in this class. I was at the awards ceremony last night. I simply outworked everyone. One thing that I realized early in my life is that there are many things out of my control. While it took years of experiences to gain an appreciation for how important values such as integrity and empathy are for me to be the person that I want to be. I've always known that effort, that intentionality, the discipline it requires are entirely in my control. I had my fair share of extracurricular activities, though I'm well aware, and again, I was there last night, that the number of extracurriculars in this class have absolutely been extraordinary from these students. But as Coach Rahazel mentioned, before a student council meeting, I studied on the way home from a game at Latin or U-High or some other hated school. I studied. My dad made me get a job at Baskin-Robbins, which used to be a few blocks away from here. I chose the Sunday morning shift because thankfully not that many people are eating ice cream on Sunday mornings. So between doling out ill-advised milkshakes and banana splits, I studied. But I never stopped to ask myself why. Why did I study so hard? Why did I participate in so many activities? Did it make me happy? I never slowed down long enough to even consider these questions. I was speeding through time from one moment to the next. I was incapable of enjoying a moment. Now, shortly after leaving that podium at my graduation, I began a summer internship. Then I was off to Stanford in pursuit of a degree in electrical engineering. Some of my classmates studied abroad. I didn't have time for that. Lake Tahoe, Napa Valley, they were nearby Stanford's campus. Many students got to enjoy that, zero time. Can't be bothered. I actually don't think that I took a spring break. Internships every summer, and then college or whatever it was that I had experienced for 4 years was over. I graduated 1 week. I started full-time work the next. As you may guess, things went about the same after that. Computerprogrammer.com, boom, all-nighter after all-nighter, back to Stanford for business school. I had only one summer, but 2 internships, and I graduated 1 week, and I started full-time work next. For years on Wall Street, I worked 80 to 100 hours a week. After my career at Disney of almost 20 years, I had over 10 different positions. Just as I almost got fully up to speed in one, there was a promotion. I moved on to another, and the acclimation process started all over again. Even better, sometimes I didn't leave the old position, but rather took on essentially 2 full-time positions at the same time. Quite obviously, I never slowed down. I rarely took the time to be appreciative of my experiences, as my focus was not on any given moment, but rather the pursuit of the next one. I told my mom once that I was most stressed not when I was working, but when I was not working. I could not just be present, I worried that I should be working. Maybe some of you can relate to that. But I told her I figured it out, which made her quite happy. She asked me what I had determined. And I said the secret to not worrying that I should be working is, of course, to just work all of the time. That is not what she wanted to hear. Well, I think she would be truly happy to know that for the first time, literally, in my life, I'm not working. Having recently left Disney, I, like you, are leaving one place that I've called home for many years. And I'm off to something new. And I, like perhaps many of you, have a mix of emotions. On any particular day, one of those feelings dominates the others. Sometimes it's excitement. Other times it may be a rather high degree of unease, uncertainty. I'm eager to figure out what is next for me, but for once, I'm trying my best to simply be aware of all those feelings and just appreciate the period for what it is. Now, I'm doing a terrible job at it, but frankly, this opportunity to share my story in hopes that it may be helpful to you has been quite beneficial in reminding me of the importance of awareness, and I am thankful for it. Gwendolyn Brooks, the Pulitzer Prize-winning poet, delivered the commencement address here at my sister's graduation in 1989. In her novel, Maud Martha, she once posed a question that we all face today. What am I to do with all this life? In that very same novel, she describes a critical moment in the life of her protagonist which seems to pose an answer. She was learning to love moments for themselves. One thing that I want to be clear on is that by slow down, I am not necessarily referring to the intensity of how hard you work. By that definition, perhaps some of you do indeed need to consider not working so exhaustively, but of course, there are probably some of you that may want to speed up in that regard to face coming challenges. What I really mean by slow down is not being overly consumed with the destination. Taking time to consider what you are doing, why you are doing it, how you are feeling while you are doing it. You cannot be in control of your feelings if you are not aware of what they are. It is extremely difficult for most of us to be actually present and shut out the noise that may come from any number of competing voices. Your friends, social media, perhaps even your own head. Clearly, to this day, it is a challenge for me. Someone at an executive search firm recently asked me what I enjoyed most about work and what made me happy. My reply was nothing. Nothing makes me happy about work, that's why they call it work. My satisfaction has always come in accomplishment, not in accomplishing. What I've realized is that this Sisyphean dynamic has led to a degree of success, but success does not necessarily equate to happiness. In this next phase of life, I am focused less on what I am going to do next and more how, with awareness and appreciation along the way. And that is what I urge you to consider as you move forward as well. When I think back over the years since I sat in your seats, what I wish most is I paid more attention to all that transpired in between. Before you head off to do whatever is next for you, think about what you will look back on and wish you had done differently. And this does not have to be over a span of 30 years. Consider just the next year. Set goals. What do you want to have accomplished? And much more importantly, who do you want to be at the end of that period? Perhaps you may choose one goal to be able to look back on a few key moments that defined your year. As I have stressed, moments matter. Whatever they may be, approach your goals with determination while recognizing that life is indeed in the margins. Take the time during the year to make sure that at the end of the year you have zero regrets, being as cognizant of your experiences throughout the year as you possibly can. Such awareness may actually cause you to change your goals instead of blindly speeding towards them. And you may decide to change those plans or goals. It's okay to change a plan. It's just not okay to not have one. But first, savor this moment and consider all that you've accomplished to get here to this singular day. A couple of years ago, as my father accepted his Hall of Fame award, he said, "I am very proud to be part of this institution." I cannot agree more, and it is an honor to be a fellow alumnus with you. I wish you all the very best as you go forward, and I sincerely hope you do indeed slow down and enjoy your journey. Congratulations.
Mr. Daniel. And now we have a few student awards to give out as well, starting with the House Cup. Like many schools throughout the world, Morgan Park Academy divides all students, faculty, and staff into 5 houses. Named for 5 giants of MPA history, they are Blake House, Malcolm House, Norton House, Theodore House, and Withington House. The house system provides a framework for intramural, athletic, charity, fundraising, and community competitions. Students win points for participation in all facets of school life, including academic achievement, co-curricular involvement, good deeds, and volunteer work. At the end of the year, the house with the most points wins the cup. This year's winners, for the first time in 10 years, is Norton House. Here to accept the cup for board members is Marie Norquette and Sean Sutton. The school year's honor and high honor rolls include 89% of our seniors who continued their academic excellence all the way through the end of the year. Certificates for other upper school students will be sent home. On the honor roll are students who earned a grade point average of at least 3.3 across all major subjects. Please stand when I call your name. Honorees for the school year include Cole Jackson and Kennedy Sims. You may be seated. On the high honor roll for the school year are students who earned a grade point average of at least 3.7 across all major subjects. The class of 2023 is well represented. Please stand when I call your name. Maya Adams, Caleb Vandelli, Taylor Brooks, Elijah Brown, Perry Burrell, Andrew Cabrera, Nikki Chen, Alex Cole, Christian Cunningham, Orla Desmond, Selena Ng, Olivia Fitch, Keone Green, Tom Gu, Sheridan Harris, Alex Huff, Rhea Kingram, Joshua Kirksey, April Liao, Andrew McClinton, Flossie Marie Norquette, Palori, Nora Perry, Macario Shell, Ira Rosen, Cassandra Ruiz Farsa, Joshua Sun, and Sean Sutton. You may be seated. Overall academic distinction prizes go to the students in each upper school class with the highest academic average for the school year. Their names are placed on an honor plaque in Alumni Hall. This year's freshman winner is Lilith Van Dyke. In the sophomore class, Chase Canoni. In the junior class, Morgan Cherry. And in our senior class, Michaela Olivenay. We also surveyed the upper school as a whole for 3 scholar awards in the form of gold, silver, and bronze medals given to students with the highest academic averages in the upper school. This year, the bronze medal goes to Nikki Chen, the silver medal goes to Andrew Cabrera, and the gold medal goes to Michaela Olimenay. The Jerome Thrall Junior Leadership Award is the most prestigious award given to students at the end of their junior year. It rewards faithfulness to the MPA tradition of excellence in citizenship, superior scholarship, and dedication to the enhancement of the common good. Recipients are chosen by the upper school faculty and receive a $4,000 scholarship for their senior year at the Academy. Here with us today to help present the awards are Jerome Thrall's daughter, Brooke, as well as her granddaughter, Natalie, and her husband, Connor. This year's first recipient of the Thrall Award has impressed us as a sincere and trustworthy role model who always advocates for others. She demonstrates a love of learning wherever she goes, including a voracious appetite for learning about other people and places on Project Week trips. We look forward to her leadership next school year as Student Council President. Our first recipient is Erin Harris. Our second recipient is a strong student and talented musician who also is one of the nicest people on campus. Always looking to help others, he leads as a team player who builds consensus and steers from behind the scenes while staying out of the spotlight. Those qualities will serve him well next school year as our incoming Student Council Vice President. Our second recipient is Seth Turner. Congratulations to you both. To graduate with cum laude distinction, students must be ranked in the top 20% of the graduating class. Students in the Cum Laude Society receive pins and certificates and are wearing gold caps today to signify their membership. When I call your name, please stand. This year's cum laude graduates are Andrew Cabrera, Nikki Chen, Selena Ng, Olivia Fitch, Michaela Olimina, Arnold Pedori, and Laura Pilley. Park Academy, we take the study of international affairs seriously. It is a huge part of who we are and what makes us unique. Project Week, service, the exchange program, our classes and our faculty, the study of Spanish, French, and Mandarin, beginning at the lower school, are all key components of the MPA experience. Today, we recognize two of our graduating seniors for their dedication to global citizenship with the Global Scholars Award. Our first recipient is passionate not only about world travel, but about doing what he can to help others all over the world. He helped lead campus fundraisers for Ukrainian refugees. He ran charity 5Ks to support underprivileged women and children in India. And he co-founded a microfinance nonprofit that provides small businesses with low-interest loans of up to $1,500, focusing specifically on women and minority-owned businesses in South Asia. A member of the Spanish Honor Society, he is also fluent in Telugu, one of the most widely spoken languages in India. Our first recipient is Arnav Palluri. Our second recipient is bilingual in English and Spanish and has earned membership in the National Chinese Honor Society for her studies in Mandarin class. Passionate about diversity, inclusion, and the importance of learning about each other's cultures, she has been a fantastic leader of our Diversity Council and does great work with volunteer organizations in her community. As she wrote this semester, we must strive towards establishing a community of love where one is appreciated and motivated to become the best version of oneself, ultimately making our world more caring, welcoming, and equitable. Our second recipient is Cassandra Ruiz Farsa. The Martin Wolf Service Award is given annually to the senior with the most outstanding record of service to the school and the community. This is quite an impressive group of seniors that we have graduating. In a class of 37 students, they have recorded more than 5,400 service hours in the past 4 years. That's nearly 150 hours per student, or about double the graduation requirement of 80 total hours. The Academy has a long-standing tradition of encouraging service to others that has been in existence since our founding date. The ideal of service is one of those core values that is reinforced on a daily basis through our interactions within our unique pre-K through 12th grade community. Students do not pursue service endeavors just because they have to do it. They do so because they enjoy doing it. Although over 5,400 service hours were officially recorded over the past 4 years, I am confident that this does not truly account for all of the service that these students have performed. On a daily basis, we have witnessed this group of seniors actively assisting with their peers, teachers, and staff around campus. So many of these students have willingly donated their own time around campus and their own communities to lend a hand. Speaking from personal experience, and I know that the MPA faculty would agree, we can ask any student at any time for help, and they will do so willingly and mostly with a smile on their face. This year's recipients of the Martin Wolf Service Award amassed more than 700 service hours and surely had more than were formally recorded. From his early days as a volunteer day camp counselor at MPA to being a regular classroom helper in the lower and middle schools, he has shown a consistent and intentional dedication to serving others. This year's recipient is Justin Harris. The Jean Landon Taylor Alumni Award is presented each year on behalf of the Alumni Association. The bronze plaque goes to a senior scholar in recognition of academic achievement, citizenship, and participation in school activities as determined by vote of the upper school faculty. The award is named in honor of Jean Landon Taylor, who served as an instructor of English and head of the English department at Morgan Park Military Academy from 1929 to 1945. This year's the award goes to Ariella Ortiz. The Scholarship Award is presented each year to a senior scholar in recognition of scholastic excellence, citizenship, and participation in school activities. It is chosen by vote of the upper school faculty and carries with it a bronze plaque. This year, the award goes to Anar Palori. The Harry D. Abels Award is presented annually to the class salutatorian based on 4-year cumulative grade point average. The winner receives a silver plaque. The award is named for Colonel Harry Delmont Abels, who joined the faculty of Morgan Park Academy in 1898 under headmaster William Rainey Harper. Colonel Abels taught chemistry and physics and was instrumental in the reorganization of the school in 1914. He served officially as superintendent of Morgan Park Military Academy from 1917 until his retirement in 1945. This year's winner is Andrew Cabrera. Finally, the Hayden E. Jones Cup is presented annually to the class valedictorian as determined by the administration based on the 4-year cumulative grade point average. To be eligible, a student must have attended the academy for at least 3 years, including 11th and 12th grades. The winner receives a medal and a plaque and has his or her name inscribed on the cup. Its namesake, Lieutenant Colonel Hayden Jones, joined the faculty of Morgan Park Academy as an instructor in Latin and history in 1899, while the academy was still part of the University of Chicago. In 1907, as we separated from the university, he joined Colonel Abels in reorganizing the school as Morgan Park Academy. And from 1919 until 1946, he served as superintendent. This beautiful quad was named in his honor in 1937, along with this top student award. This year, the award goes to Michaela Olimine. So we're going to give Michaela a moment to put that down as she returns to the podium to deliver her valedictorian speech. Please help me welcome Michaela Olimine.
Good morning. Welcome teachers, staff, fellow graduates, friends, and family. I am Michaela Alexis Olimine. As I stand before you, I'm quite sure most of you have finally had the one looming question answered that has lurked in your minds for years. And the answer is yes. Yes, I do speak. I have spent most of my time here at the Academy hiding from the spotlight, and yet here we are. All jokes aside, I feel so privileged to be able to speak to all of you this morning. Well, surprised and privileged. You see, these classmates of mine are a tough group of students. Any one of us could just as well be standing up here giving their own version of the valedictorian speech. We are the best of the best. Most of us have known each other for years, and with such a small-sized class, we are in a lot of ways similar to siblings. We have learned so much about one another over these years, and I'm so happy that they have become an integral part of my life. So much so that it's hard for me to imagine a life without them, as we all had our separate ways to attend various colleges around the country. While some of us have chosen to leave the nest and venture just a few miles away, others have chosen a trajectory that takes them thousands of miles away from the small place that we have grown to call our second home. I have spent a lifetime here at Morgan Park Academy. 10 other fellow graduates and I are what you call lifers. I have known no other school. I have literally grown up here on this beautiful campus that you sit on today. I thank my parents for choosing the Academy as my beginning and my end. Fact of the matter is, though, I had no choice. I'm not only a lifer, but I'm also a legacy. My uncle, today's commencement speaker, graduated from the Academy in 1992, and my mother graduated from NPA in 1989. My grandfather and mother are both past trustees on the board, and my grandfather is a Hall of Fame member here at the Academy for all of his dedication. In fact, my mother will become a Hall of Fame recipient this fall at homecoming. So as you see, my family breathes and bleeds NPA. And while I had no other choice, there could not have been any better decision. I simply love it here. I love all the teachers that have dedicated their time to us. I love the administration who go out of their way to make sure the students have a beautiful campus, the best technology, and make sure the day-to-day happenings move just right. I love the coaches who, despite our shortcomings, still push us on and take all the time to teach us the game. But most of all, I love my classmates. We push one another to be the best that we can be. We cheer each other on so we can in class and on the court. And with that, we have gone to state in ICTM, won regionals in basketball and volleyball, represented tennis in the state finals, and participated in the state chess competition, to name just a few. Clearly, we do not just shine in the classroom, we are competitive in many other areas of life. We are an impressive bunch, and you can see that by noting all of the wonderful places that we have chosen to start our next chapter in the book of life. As you look at us all, remind yourself that we started high school with an idea of just how we wanted our 4 years to roll out. Instead, just as our freshman year reached its peak, we were confronted with the biggest obstacle that some of us had ever faced. It entered as a tiny particle in the world, but it ravaged every aspect of life and took down giants. The pandemic shut down all the plans we had created for ourselves. We ended our first year of high school unable to finish learning on campus, unable to play soccer after weeks of practice and receiving our uniforms, and unable to finish dreams that we had started. We spent the next 2 years of our high school tenure being sent home for classmates testing positive, being swabbed once or twice a week to avoid the spreading of COVID, being taught courses through a screen instead of enjoying the company of the classmates and teachers that had been such an important part of our lives. We had to learn how each other were feeling by watching the expression in their eyes rather than noting the expressions on their face. We had to learn how to speak loudly and clearly through masks that hindered our voices. 3 out of our 4 high school years were in no way normal. We were forced to adjust to not only being high schoolers, but also forced to learn a new way of learning, a new way of listening, and a new way of succeeding. But as Sun Tzu once said, in the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. While we were not able to go out as often in public and compete in sports that we look forward to participating in, we had the ability to improve in the classroom and focus on other goals. We went through the obstacles and did not take the easy way around them. If you look at the class of 2023 around the world, we not only survived, we killed it. The competition to get into colleges was at the extreme this year, and what we were forced to do and study, we became efficient at. We learned to push ourselves and each other in different ways. We did not sit back and let the obstacle become the excuse. We took the bull by the horn and persevered through. And I cannot think of any other group of people to have gone through all of this with. We were there for each other, cheered each other on, and continued to be special and resilient. And so much of this we owe to the dedicated staff here at the Academy. While we were taught through Zoom, we were still able to actually see our teachers and each other. While it may not have been the same as being in class with my friends and teachers, it was the next best thing. It made what was a different way of learning not as bad. We were still able to see one another. Still able to have our discussions turn into debates, tell jokes, and grow. While it was a non-traditional way of learning, at least it was something. A way to adjust to our new world, and a way to still be in each other's lives. Don't get me wrong, it was difficult and demanding, but it gave us the best tools. And for that, NPA sent me appreciation. Our ability to adjust and still push through was because of this group behind me is tight. Although we were forced to look at each other through screens, our past as friends kept us together and focused. My very first friend here at NPA, our last names followed each other in alphabet, so we were bound to get to know one another from the start, and it was not hard to befriend her. She welcomed me into her circle with a warm smile and has remained a very good friend to this day. I especially remember the world language trips we went on and all the fun we had. I will miss you tremendously. We have gone through so much together, namely the wrath of Joe, and I feel privileged to have shared the court with you two. Although we got cheated out of 1 year of basketball, 3 years as regional champs isn't bad for such a small team. Olivia, Panama was one of my favorite trips of my MPA years, and you are a special part of that memory. We had the best of times experiencing another culture and exploring a new part of the world. Taylor and Lay, I'm glad I was able to play tennis with you guys, spending time together outside of the classroom. Kennedy, sharing a room with you in Italy and Greece was a highlight of this year, and staying up to laugh and chat were best. Selena, thank you for all the memories. From LA to prom, I always enjoyed anything we got to do together. And to my other lifers, Andrew, Eric, Ori, Rhea, Taylor, Olivia, Justin, Sherry, Makai, and Sean. The journey was fun and memorable, but we aren't stopping, just changing course. And you will always be a special part of my life. To the teachers, you have all become a second set of parents to me, looking out for my well-being and guiding me on the correct path. I remember coming home one day to get a talk from my mother who informed me that Miss Skolin had spent teacher conferences letting her know that my food choices for lunch were not the best and that maybe we should have a talk about better foods to purchase. Coach P and Coach O, who are also my mother's coaches, started me off on my love for sports here at the Academy, and I thank them for their encouragement. Miss Panic, chemistry with you has made my love for the subject grow so much that is what I plan to major in while attending college. And your encouragement as I played tennis helped me embrace the sport and desire to continue playing in the future. Señora Ortiz and Harris, allowed me to grow in Spanish language. I plan on studying more Spanish in college, and thanks to you, I know I'll be off to a great start. Miss Joseph, thanks for your unwaning efforts to make sure that I got all of my applications and scholarships off in a timely fashion. But most of all, thanks for enduring my mother. And Jerome, thanks for continuously reminding me that I needed a little more Daniel when it comes to basketball. You embraced my quietness, but at the same time pushed me to be a better ball player. Although you coached my uncle and mother, I appreciate that you did not show favoritism and equally yelled at me till you turned red when I did anything against your will while on the court. I would be remiss to not thank each and every one of you that sit before me, staff, teachers, and administration. Thank you for making this a rewarding experience for 13 years. Thank you for making this a home. To my family, thank you for all that you have done to encourage me to be my best. Thank you for the sacrifices made so that I can attend an extraordinary place like MPA. You have continued to show me love no matter what and cheered me on when I needed you most. You are the reason I stand in front of this podium today. As I wrap this up, I would love to leave you with two thoughts. The first is, did any of you think you would ever hear me speak this many words in one sitting? To most of you, this is the longest that you've heard me speak, even if you added up all the years that you've written about right now. But I've been able to do so because of the love that I know that sits in those seats behind me. They've had my back for years, and I knew that they would remain by my side during these long 8 to 10 minutes I was given by Joe to speak. My second thought is to my classmates. I want to read to you the characteristics that define family. Support, love and caring for other family members, providing security and a sense of belonging, open communication, making each person within the family feel important, valued, respected, and esteemed. As I read this, and I look at each and every one of you, I can't help but notice that this defines you, my family. A family. Let's go into the world and make a difference, making all of those who sit before us and beside us proud. Lastly, no matter how cheesy the saying is, I hope you know this isn't goodbye, but until we meet again.
Thank you, Michaela. As the graduates come forward, they will receive their diplomas from Mr. Terhazel, our upper school principal, and congratulations from Mr. Floyd, the chair of our board of trustees. Maya Adams. Maya always has a great big smile and a story to share. She is a loyal friend and advocate for herself and others. Always one to complete her work on time with attention to detail, Maya is a dedicated student. No matter the situation, she puts her best foot forward. A dynamic member of the volleyball team, she would always set her goals high for both herself and her team. She was team captain the past 2 seasons and team MVP as a junior. Also a consistent and strong voice for the Diversity Council, Maya helped ensure that the traditions and cultures that make us unique were regularly celebrated on campus. Her strength, confidence, and determination will serve her well next fall. She plans to pursue a pre-law track at William Penn University next fall, studying political science with a focus on criminal justice while also playing college volleyball. Maya Maria Adams. Caleb Vandelli. Caleb has made a tremendous impact on NPA in only 3 short years. He founded the investment club and built it into one of the busiest groups on campus, including arranging for guest speakers and field trips and establishing high expectations for the club. Elsewhere on campus, he had a hand in seemingly everything, helping the math, chess, tennis, and Model UN teams achieve great results. Caleb is always willing to engage in a conversation about anything and continually wants to learn from others. His unmistakable baritone voice can often be heard in exuberant discussions on just about any topic. He knows a lot about a lot, and we are so glad that he shared his skills and warm personality with us these past 3 years. He earned early decision admissions to Northwestern University, where he plans to study economics. Caleb Bendel. Taylor Brooks. For Taylor, the sky's the limit. She is a determined and motivated individual who always makes sure that she is well prepared. When she sets her goals, there is no doubt that she will achieve what she wants. A direct and upfront individual, Taylor always chooses to do the right thing, even if it's not popular. A tennis player for all 4 years of high school, she demonstrated the ability to try something new and build on her skill set every day. With the yearbook, she has done top-notch work and was inducted into the International Quill and Scroll Honor Society. Her passion project for Smile Train led to her being an ambassador for the group the past 3 years, as she truly found a cause that was important to her and embraced the opportunity to be an active change maker. She earned a capstone scholarship to Howard University, where she plans to study health management on a pre-med track. Taylor Lynn Brooks. Elijah Brown. Eli is always up for anything. His habitual smile can make the dreariest day seem like a great one. He has been a rock star helping out with preschoolers for the past few years, and his young friends simply adore him. Eli's Project Week trips to Florida and Greece and Italy highlighted his passion for learning about other people and trying new things. His passion project revealed another side, his love of making his own music. No matter what, Eli is the same consistent person, both with his academic studies and his friendly personality. It doesn't matter who you are or what circumstances are, Eli will always be kind, trustworthy, and kind. He plans to study engineering technology and management of agricultural systems at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Elijah Brown. Perry Burrell. Perry's personal growth since arriving at NPA 2 years ago has been incredible. Excuse us for a moment. Okay. We have a slight technical difficulty, but we will continue and figure it out. Okay. Perry's personal growth since arriving at NPA 2 years ago has been incredible. Initially shy, it wasn't long before we saw them cracking jokes and joining in on the fun during open periods at lunch. Now an enthusiastic participant in all parts of school life, they found a niche from drawing caricatures of classmates and teachers to a place at one of our rowdier lunch tables. Quick to learn new concepts, Perry can often be found helping classmates with more difficult assignments, always in a supportive way with concern about what is best for others. Perry actively asks questions and wants to know more in class. The recipient of a presidential scholarship, Perry plans to study graphic design at DePaul University. Perry Burrell III. Andrew Cabrera. Andrew always has something going on. From sports to student council to Model UN, when you see Andrew up at the microphone to make an announcement, it could be about any number of clubs and activities. He is 110% invested in all of his endeavors. At the same time, Andrew has developed a knack for knowing when to step back and let other people shine. He has encouraged countless students to participate in activities and clubs that they may not have previously considered, and our community has benefited greatly from his constant encouragement. Engaged in everything he does, Andrew demonstrates quiet maturity and embodies true character by always being honest with himself and with others. He has the potential to build upon his strong foundation in many areas as he continues his education. Our salutatorian plans to study biological sciences on a pre-med track at the University of Notre Dame. Andrew Bennett Beniel Cabrera. Nikki Chen. This is saying a lot, but Nikki might be the hardest worker in this year's senior class. From her first day at NPA, she has been consistent in her vision of her future and has been proactive in making her dreams a reality. She is intense in her pursuit of perfection, and her name has been a fixture on the high honor roll for 4 years. Nikki prepares for assessments by reviewing her materials, making appointments with teachers, and talking with her peers. Most notably, she will do the extra work after an assessment by evaluating her work and making the effort to understand what errors she might have made. Nikki also is proud of her culture and is quick to share with others. During the pandemic, she continued to find opportunities to reach out to different communities to educate them about Lunar New Year and other Chinese traditions. She plans to study molecular and cellular biology at the University of California, Berkeley. Nikki Chen. Alex Coe. Always one of our most entertaining actors in theatrical productions, Alex was especially captivating in his 10 years this year, capturing our attention with his voice and his As a traveler to Costa Rica this spring, Alex was one of the first in the water, in the canoe, on the zip line, trying new foods, going horseback riding, and on and on. His enthusiasm for all of the activities during Project Week made the experience for others that much more enjoyable. He has a zest for life that is contagious and makes those around him happier and more involved. He is an incredibly responsible person and will quickly own up to his mistakes and work even harder. Alex is a perceptive person with a remarkable ability to demonstrate kindness and compassion for others. He hates for others to feel left out and does all that he can to get them involved. For Alex, life is more fun when enjoyed by all. He plans to study art and design at the University of Michigan. Marshall Alexander Coe. Christian Cunningham. Don't tell him that I told you this because he's very modest. But Christian impressed us all by qualifying twice for nationals with the Business Leadership Club, his specialty of computer security. His quiet presence on campus is very reassuring. A steadying force on the basketball court, Christian put his calm demeanor to good use as a team captain for the past 2 years. In addition, his hard work to improve his times in cross country are impressive. Always trying to improve himself and do just a little bit better the next time. Christian is the one to look for when help is needed. And he's an enthusiastic supporter of his friends and peers. His steady diligence will no doubt pay dividends in the future. He plans to attend Central Michigan University, where he earned a 4-year full-ride scholarship. Christian Cunningham. Orla Desmond. Hands down, the best surfer in the senior class, as she showed during Project Week, Orla demonstrates an enthusiasm for all that she does. She consistently demonstrates kindness and enjoyment for life, always challenging herself to take demanding classes while also managing that difficult workload. Orla is a team player, and she genuinely wants what is best for the group. It is not success for her unless it is success for everyone involved. Down to earth and responsible, Orla is a benefit to any group, project, and endeavor. She is focused on her goals and is excellent at mapping out her plans of success. She earned a Dean's Scholarship and early decision admissions at Brandeis University, where she plans to study biology. Orla Desmond. Brown. Although she joined us only this school year, I wish Mari had been with us much longer. Certainly it feels like she has always been a member of our community. She has been a welcome addition and has contributed by working many hours in our ABC after-school program. Here she learned the importance of hard work and friendship and grew into the best version of herself. She is always smiling, and we will miss her presence on campus. She plans to study biology at DePaul University. Kamari Brown. Selena Ng. Selena is an excellent student who is always looking for the next opportunity to challenge herself. She holds high expectations of herself and continues to work on tasks until she masters them. conscientious about her schoolwork, she is equally invested in her extracurricular activities from National Honor Society and the Business Leadership Club to the speech team and math team. She has been an active participant in assemblies and helps create opportunities for others to get involved. Selena always takes her task seriously, but remains grounded in her approach to challenges. She has been a supportive friend for years, helping classmates achieve a similarly successful balance of academics and extracurricular activities. She plans to study electrical and computer engineering at Carnegie Mellon University. Olivia Fitch. Always a seriously focused student, Olivia has expanded her involvement in extracurricular activities while continuing to excel academically. Never one to take the easy route, she has continually challenged herself over her high school career. She was always in motion, from her part-time jobs as a camp counselor and babysitter to her leading roles with the volleyball team and in student life. This year, Olivia took on the large role of being a house leader, demonstrating her dedication to promoting school spirit and camaraderie among the 3 divisions. She and Rhea did a phenomenal job of incorporating fun activities for all abilities and age levels of students. Most memorable was her puzzle scavenger hunt that had the entire upper school out around Jonesboro competing to find their missing puzzle pieces. Olivia will be remembered for her enthusiasm to try new things and always keeping traditions alive. She received a Chancellor's Honors Scholarship at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, where she plans to study advertising. Olivia Emily Fitch. Eric Fuller. An immensely popular summer camp counselor, Eric has a knack for working with kids no matter the age, level, or activity, and he is excellent at keeping them entertained and also holding campers accountable for their actions. All of the kids look up to him, and they are eager to compete against him in any sport or classroom challenge. Eric is extremely athletic and has especially made an impact in basketball and baseball, earning him the Dan Lippy Award as our top male athlete this year. He knows just about everything about basketball. You won't win a trivia contest against him. Eric is a true competitor who has also demonstrated great sportsmanship. He also has been a great student ambassador for our admissions department over the years, as he easily talks to and relates to everyone he meets. He loves being involved in everything happening on campus and has become a fixture at many after-school events. He plans to study sports management at Hampton University. Eric James Fuller. Keone Green. Keone has brightened up our classrooms, hallways, and dining halls, and performance stages with her glowing personality and her amazing artistic abilities. She wowed us with her performance as Dorothy in The Wiz, and she exudes kindness and grace on a daily basis. She's a very strong individual who manages to always look on the bright side. Keone is passionate about every project she is working on and won't settle for second best. Her contributions to our door decorating competitions were outstanding. In Florida and Costa Rica, she was one of the students who was always enthusiastic about the day's adventures and was a great role model for other students. She never seems to think of herself first. Rather, she would like to make sure that others are having the best experience possible. She is a dependable and trustworthy individual who is diligent about doing the right thing. She's a summer camp counselor extraordinaire. Her campers are well-behaved and respectful, and they adore Miss Keone. She also is one of our go-to students for helping out in missions as a student ambassador, and we can always count on her to show up for open houses, be a shadow host, and run student panels for prospective students. She plans to attend Wesleyan College, Keone Green. Tom Goon. The best word to describe Tom is independent. And we are so glad he made it here today on time. Tom has traveled all over the world and will continue to experience new places and things throughout his life. It no longer phases us when he talks about his weekend trip to go skiing in Vermont or his recent trip to Mexico to soak up some sun. Tom does not back down from challenging things, and he will take on difficult tasks willingly. He entertained us all with the lead performance in Big Fish last year, showing perseverance throughout the rehearsals to develop his character. Tom's adventurous spirit will serve him well in college and provide him opportunities to further discover who he is. He plans to study business at Babson College. Tom Goon. Justin Harris. Justin is all about sports, but in particular baseball, where he was one of our top players and a driving force behind recruiting many of his teammates. Always up to try new things, Justin likes to be involved in it all. He has been a reliable student ambassador who is ready to help out even at the last minute. This semester, he even managed to make it back in time for Model UN conference at Northwestern to help tour campus visitors at MPA later in the day. Justin reflects on himself and will work to better himself at every opportunity he gets. He has demonstrated that he truly wants to grow and also learn from others around him. He will listen carefully to what others have to say, and he will always be supportive of his peers. Often seen in Jones Bowl enjoying the company of his classmates or competing in some sort of game, Justin has taken advantage of the numerous opportunities provided to him. He earned a 4-year full tuition scholarship to the University of Dayton, where he plans to study communications and journalism. Justin Anthony Harris. Sheridan Harris. Sheridan has been formidable on the basketball court, establishing herself as perhaps the best player in program history despite playing less than 3 full seasons because of the pandemic. Yet, what made this season and a 3rd regional championship stand out more for Sherry was her determination to make it the best team for every player. She took it upon herself to include everyone and help develop them into their role. Extremely competitive on the court, Sherry brings the same level of determination to succeed in the classroom. Instead of competing with classmates, she instead challenges herself to elevate her own skills and expertise. Sherry has devoted much of her free time to being a student ambassador and for admissions. She is at all the open houses and campus events and does an excellent job representing the school and highlighting everything that is awesome about MPA. She plans to study architect at Howard University, Sheridan Hills. Alex is an extremely nice and friendly, with one of the most genuine smiles on campus. He is a very hard worker who takes great pride in his work, trying to make sure he is completing each task as expected. Alex takes the time to check his work, and he listens carefully to feedback to continue improving. Over the past 2 years, he discovered a new passion with the chess team. He developed a keen sense of gameplay and was constantly searching for opportunities to play chess against all different levels of competitors. Often found in Mr. V's room discussing the latest tech or a new chess strategy, Alex is one who is always looking for new things to learn. He plans to study business at Dominican University. Alex Christopher Huff. Cole Jackson. One of our most dynamic personalities, Cole has entertained us throughout his high school career, both on and off stage. In school production, he portrays his characters with such enthusiasm and precision that you completely forget it is him up there. Cole transforms into these characters and takes the viewer into the storyline from the moment he walks on stage. He has demonstrated an ability to fill up the stage when the moment calls for it, while also pushing for others to take the moment in the light. As the scarecrow in The Wiz, he filled the auditorium with his amazing vocals and dance moves. Very creative and naturally gifted as an actor, we're looking forward to seeing him on the big screen or Broadway in the future. In the classroom, Cole always has a unique perspective to share with his classmates. He readily listens to others and takes the time to really hear what they have to say. He earned a merit scholarship at Ithaca College, where he plans to study film and theater. Cole Jackson. Rihanna Kingra. Ria is an expert traveler who embraces every opportunity to learn about other people and cultures. She is very conscientious about her studies and takes the time to meet with teachers and peers outside of class time to be able to really understand the material. Ria does not take shortcuts, and she will continue to work on a problem or skill until she has it figured out. This year, as a house leader, she was diligent about developing age-appropriate challenges and trying new things to establish new traditions on campus. Every month, there were dedicated house challenges for each division, and students will look forward to the new adventures. Her attention to detail to make activities, challenges, and competition that were specific for each grade was remarkable. Ria takes time to learn about other people. Continues to advocate for what is right, and she is consistently supportive and lifts up her peers. She plans to study communications and media at the University of Michigan. Rihanna Kinga. Joshua Kirksey. For Josh, meteorology is life. We will all miss his analysis of the predicted weather storms and his evaluation of whether or not we would have a snow day. Viewed by many as more reliable than weather anchors on television, Josh has established himself as an expert in all things weather. In and out of the classroom, he is a great supporter of his peers and is involved in chess, soccer, Model UN, theater, the math team, and more. Josh wants to be involved in all opportunities available and is willing to push himself outside of his comfort zone to help support school activities and his peers. When a group activity or peer needs support, he is one of the first to step in. He is level-headed and approaches any challenge or complex situation with practicality and a commitment to get things done. Although he doesn't feel the need to be in charge, there have been numerous occasions, both in and out of the classroom, where his peers have turned to him first to help them. His quiet leadership is a significant strength. He earned a presidential scholarship to study atmospheric sciences and meteorology at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Joshua Kirksey. April originally planned to be at MPA for a one-year exchange visit from Taiwan. We are so fortunate that she decided to stay and become an integral part of both our school community and her American host family. We have watched her blossom into a confident, artistic, poised young woman. April has been on stage for our school play, forged lifelong friendships, and you can almost always catch her in the Arts Center with flute in hand or at the piano sharing her musical talents. She has found opportunities to get involved with all aspects of student life, from the musicals to band to academic clubs. April represented the math team well at regionals and state during her junior year. She advanced to state with the chess team this year and is always willing to take on a challenge. April has a sweet personality and is always willing to assist where needed. She plans to study biochemistry at the University of California, Davis. April now. Andrew McClendon. AJ's personality sometimes initially appears to be calm, quiet, and reserved, but he quickly reveals himself to be lively, energetic, and funny. He took on amazing character roles during the musical over the past 2 years and completely entertained us with comic supporting turns in Big Fish and The Wiz. Never one to take himself too seriously, he finds a way to make the most out of every situation and also to go with the flow. He does not get caught up in the negative. Instead, he tries to look for the best in all situations. Serious when needed on the soccer field and competing in class, AJ makes sure to enjoy every activity. He earned a President's Scholarship to study computer science at the University of Illinois at Chicago. Andrew McClendon. Quasi has really developed into his own person over the past 4 years. Initially a quiet, admittedly uncertain freshman, he has taken advantage of every opportunity to try new things and developed who he is. In recent years, he's identified different goals for himself and worked hard to achieve them. These his senior year, he took on cross country and continued to improve his performance with each practice and meet. During the Costa Rica trip, he took it upon himself to film and photograph the week and completed an edited video with background music and credits before we had even arrived back home in Chicago. At the start of his junior year, he set academic goals for himself and he crushed them, earning consistently good grades and being an enthusiastic participant in all of his classes. Quasi sees a challenge and enthusiastically makes a plan to accomplish any task. He plans to study computer science at Howard University. Quasi meet you. Marie Norquette. Marie is a young woman who is very intentional with both her words and actions. She wanted to bring awareness and support to the mental health of high school students, and she founded a school club to do just that. She is a pleasure to talk with and always seems to have enough time for everything and everyone. Known for being an active listener, she is a kind-hearted and is always looking for opportunities to help lift others up. In class, Marie chooses her contributions carefully, and each time her participation elevates the class discussions. She is an active participant in student life, and her contributions to student council have been remarkable. One of Marie's best qualities is that she sticks with her word. When she says she will do something, it will most definitely get done and be done with precision and attention to detail. Outside of school, she is a dedicated lifeguard and swimming coach, providing lessons to all ages. Her patience and support makes her a wonderful instructor. She earned a presidential scholarship and early decision admissions to St. John's College in New Mexico, where she plans to study philosophy. Marie Norquette. Michaela Eliminate. Hard worker is an understatement when it comes to describing Michaela. Her natural gifts combined with her strong work ethic have made Michaela one of the most respected students of her grade. She is constantly sought out by her peers for assistance in understanding material. Michaela has been an extremely dedicated individual to all endeavors that she pursues, whether it was reaching the state tennis tournament, earning top 10 finishes for the math team, helping the basketball team win 3 regional championships, or spending countless hours creating the school yearbook. Outside of school, she has been a reliable member of the You Matter Too organization, helping fundraise for schools, especially during the back-to-school time of year. We will continue to see her refine her goals and eagerly await what she will accomplish next. Our valedictorian plans to study chemistry and Spanish on a pre-med track at MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Michaela Alexis Baker. Oriella Ortiz. Dedicated and committed, Ori has always been a student who follows through and takes pride in making sure that things get done right. She takes her academics seriously, but she never lets that get in the way of enjoying student life. Her projects and activities are always well thought out, as evidenced by every student council event she contributed to. As vice president, Ori was tireless in her efforts to execute activities and make sure that new ideas were heard and brought to reality. On the volleyball court and soccer field, she demonstrated an intensity and a passion that was uplifting and encouraging to her teammates. She has been tireless in her efforts with the yearbook, and most important, she does all of these things with a positive attitude and a great smile. She earned a Dean's Scholarship to attend St. Mary's College, where she plans to study chemistry and Spanish on a pre-dental track. Oriella Amelia Ortiz. Is a walking sports encyclopedia. It is difficult to find a sport or athlete that he doesn't know. As his classmate Andrew identified in his senior speech, Arnoff will most likely be a CEO in the future. If his passion project on microloans is any indication about his future possibilities, it is safe to say that Arnoff has a wide range of business talents that he can leverage to create amazing opportunities for others. He is dedicated to his goal and carefully plans to make sure that his goals are attainable and solid. When he wants to try something new, he's completely dedicated to pursuing it and giving it his full effort and attention. From student council to math team, business leadership club, Model UN, band, soccer, and baseball. Arnav is a humble person who does not like to be front and center and would rather support his peers and help them showcase their talents. Yet his excellence across the board is hard to miss. He plans to study economics at the University of Chicago. Arnav Pilluri. Nora Perry. Nora has excelled on the basketball court for years, and it's hard to picture what the team will look like next year without her and Sherry. There is, in most things, Nora displays a quiet excellence. Another example was her countless hours as a volunteer in the kindergarten class, using free time during the school day to help her 5-year-old friends. In the summer, she is a counselor extraordinaire. No matter the class or age level, Nora gets students focused and completing their tasks. She is also an excellent artist who carefully considers her work before starting and continuously reflects on her work to improve her technique. Her talents were on display as she presented a gallery installation for her passion project last year. She was able to combine art style with themed rooms that played well off of each other. Those talents made her a deserving winner of this year's Senior Art Award. She earned early decision admissions to Washington University in St. Louis, where she plans to study communication design. Nora Grace Perry. Makai Rochelle. Makai took on many new endeavors during his senior year, from cinema club to helping relaunch the bowling team. He helped with the Cinemas Club inaugural barbecue event this spring, complete with an outdoor movie and delicious food. But the first thing you notice about Makai is his love of fashion, which is on full display on and off campus. His attention to detail for perfecting his outfits is impeccable. Makai has a natural skill for all things creative, is a talented and dedicated artist, and takes great pride in his projects in all of his classes. When Makai sets his mind on something, he will continue to pursue it until he has achieved his goal. up to and including his final math project this year, when he was determined to make his graphic design look perfect. He is still finalizing his college plans. Makai Rochelle. Kira Rosen. Kira has made such an impact and fit in so seamlessly at MPA, it's easy to forget that she only joined us 2 years ago. From Model UN to theater to baseball and cross country, Kira has been a fixture of student life of all varieties. An earnest and kind-hearted person, she cares deeply about others and is selfless in her actions. She wants to make sure that others feel supported and they have the opportunities to do amazing things. She constantly uplifts her peers and looks for ways to make a difference in other people's lives. Her participation in student life has really broadened her skill set and her talents. With each activity that she has undertaken, she is becoming a stronger leader, a more well-rounded individual, and a kinder person. Her passions for doing the right thing, she has always wanted to make others feel at home. She earned a presidential scholarship at the George Washington University, where she plans to study neuroscience on a pre-med track. Kira Wall Rosen. Cassandra Ruiz-Farsa. Cassie transformed the Diversity Council over the past 2 years. As one of the leaders for the past 2 years, Cassie made a commitment to celebrate many traditions and cultures throughout each school year. She organized food sales and brought in new celebrations. She is probably most famous for her inclusion of advisory competitions to celebrate different events from Black History Month to the Day of the Dead. She also was the queen of trying new things in recent years. Model UN, baseball, and cross country were just a few of the activities that she was determined to be involved in and to make a difference in. With all of the activities and accomplishments that Cassie has had in her high school career, it seems like there were not enough hours in the day to do them all. She earned a full-ride scholarship to study engineering at the University of Michigan. Cassandra Ruiz-Farsa. Kennedy Sims. Kennedy has unlimited potential and is a standout in a variety of activities. She is an extremely creative individual, and her portrayal of characters on the stage seems effortless. This year especially, she mesmerized the audience with her role as Glinda in The Wiz. She has the ability to draw audience attention, and she helps support others on stage constantly. Kennedy is always one to make the most of any situation, and she never takes herself too seriously. On the volleyball court, she was both serious and fun, and she was an excellent teammate. Generous with her time, Kennedy also spent many hours down at the gym working with younger athletes as she helped them improve on their rotations, serves, and defense. Although she rarely recorded these as service hours, her contributions to the younger sports team were much appreciated and incredibly helpful. She earned a Regent Scholarship to study psychology at Loyola University Chicago. Kennedy Simone Sims. Joshua Sun. A tireless learner, Joshua is not satisfied until he has completely mastered the material. On many occasions, he has continued his learning outside of the classroom to research a topic or to learn more in depth about something that came up in class. He then brings that knowledge to class and elevates classroom discussions. Josh is always in the business of learning new things. He is often involved in lively discussions with his classmates about whatever the topic of the day is. Even when there is only a few minutes of downtime during a lab or near the end of class, Josh is always talking with others or researching something to improve his knowledge base. In addition, he participates in numerous clubs and activities, from robotics to coding to chess. His curiosity to learn new things is infectious and inspired many of his peers to try new things. He plans to study computer science and finance, and maybe math, at the University of California, Davis. Joshua Sutton. Sean Sutton. The deserving winner of this year's We'll Never Forget award, Sean is honest, kind, and straightforward. He can often be found playing chess or watching movies or participating in a lively discussion about any number of activities. Sean is generous with both his time and his character. He always has time to talk, whether to a peer or an adult. He's an active listener and participant. He always takes the time to learn about you, and he's a steadfast friend and classmate. Sean is a genuine person who takes pride in his work. Most importantly, he celebrates others' achievements and is a team player and faithful friend. He plans to study neuroscience on a pre-med track and minor in political science at Boston University. Sean Anthony Sutton. Scott Zhao. I'm sorry. Scott Zhao. Scott is always interested in getting to know other people. He enjoys learning about other cultures and traditions and can strike up a conversation with anyone. Scott never misses an opportunity to support his peers and everything related to MPA life. From athletic events to dances to movie nights, Scott is always present and enthusiastic. This year's winner of the Student Council Achievement Award, Scott is usually the first to arrive and the last to leave a school event. Scott is always polite and respectful and truly cares about others. His love of international soccer was on full display during the World Cup this past year, and he can often be found watching international games on his mobile device when he is not studying in class. He plans to study business at Rutgers University. Scott Jim.
So before we say our goodbye, in addition to being the best class MPA's ever had, in injunction with the parents and the students, as our senior gift, we have paid and built the new sign that will be coming on 111. In addition to the sign, there will be bricks with each of our names, whoever bought it, and yeah, that's our senior gift.
all for coming today. Our new graduates will leave first, so please everyone stay seated. And you can they'll be able to receive their guests around the semicircle in Jones Bowl.